Good afternoon. This is Jeff, and I am going to demonstrate some commands that are useful in Linux. You will take a note that I am currently running Kali Linux. I am running this as a VM within VirtualBox. The commands I'm going to demonstrate today, the basic commands. I'm going to demonstrate some basic use of those commands and sort of give us a kickstart into the great adventure that is the Linux operating system. The first command I'm going to demonstrate today is pwd. Stands for present working directory. Okay, and you can see that I'm in a directory home/Kali. Okay, I am indeed the Kali user. That is my username, and I can verify this using the whoami command. Just in case I forget who I am, I can be reminded that I am actually Kali. The next command I'm going to show you is how to move around within Linux. Staying in your home directory is often not what we want to do. So I'm going to go to the etc directory. All right. And let's just run that command again. Present working directory, pwd. All right. We have indeed moved from the home Kali directory to the etc directory or /etc. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I want to just see the contents in this directory. So therefore, we're going to type the command ls, short for list. Okay. And we get a list of all the files in this directory. This is where a lot of our configuration is going to be stored. So let's just take a look. And perhaps I want to know who owns these files. This is one of my favorite commands. We can add a space, more, and then a dash, and then AL. Okay, and that's going to give us some details. We will go over the details of what this is showing us later, later in the course. But for now, just know the ls-al gives you some information. Okay, let's try another one that I've used in the past and just see what we get here. All right, so that was ls, and then the parameters, excuse me, were -ltr. All right. So far we've done pwd, which is present working directory. Okay. We've done ls. Okay. And we used -al. We used ls-ltr. And this gave us contents of the directory. Okay. Oh, and we did also use the whoami. Shows the user name. Okay. We also did, and I kind of snuck it in there, but change directory, CD or change directory. So let's say we wanted to go back to our default directory, right? We can just use CD, change directory. Now, it shows us that we were in /etc, and now it's got the tilde, this little right below the escape key. All right. This is a tilde. Okay. And so let's see what directory we're in now. Okay, we have gone, so we typed just CD, and it took us back to our default directory, home/Kali. I did it again, right? Home/Kali. All right. let's go back to Etsy. Now, let's see. Let's say that we wanted to view our configuration files, but just the configuration files. We can use a command call or a program called grep, Grep, and we can grep for a certain string. So if we're just doing a simple search, we don't have to put any quotes or any sort of special punctuation. We can just do, for example, conf, right? So you can see here that it has gone into this directory and it has listed out any files or any directory names that contain that string, conf, all right? So that's handy. Let's try another one. Network. Okay. So here there's two entries or two directories or files that that have this string. Now, let's take another look here real quick at the actual directory contents, right? Notice there's two entries here that say network that match this string. Let's just run the basic ls command. Now look, here's network and here's networks, but it didn't pick up this network manager, right? Well, why didn't that happen? Well, it's case sensitive. Unlike Windows, Linux is case sensitive. So let's try this again. List grep network manage. Let's just do network. Okay. And you can see that it caught the network entry with the capital N, but now it didn't catch the entry with the networks. So let's try this. Grep. Okay. So you can see using the grep dash lowercase I that ignores the case sensitivity. Let's do another example real quick. Let's find one here. Here we go. Power. Okay. So let's say instead of network, we wanted to look at something about power. Power. And sure enough, here we have PowerShell Empire and U Power. PowerShell has the lowercase. U Power has the uppercase P. All right. So the next thing that I'll show you really quickly. So notice when I just run ls, it lists out a bunch of files, but we're missing some. Oh, we scroll up and here they are. So let's say you didn't want to scroll or you're looking at something else. You can, looking at a file, you can add the pipe. Okay. So that's ls pipe and then the word more. Okay. So now here's our files. It's just listing them out, but it stops at the end of, it'll let us view all these. See, here's our command and here's the output. So if I hit the space bar, it will take me, it's like page down on a text file. All right, let's do that one more time just for thoroughness. Type more. Okay. So again, it's going to let me scroll through. Now, if I hit enter, it will just do it one row at a time. So that might be kind of handy if we know we're looking for something and we get close. Let's say we're looking something that starts with the letter U. Okay, so here we go. What is U dev, right? The other thing we might want to do is look at the contents of a file. So let's go look at some logs. Logs are typically stored in the var log directory, var/log, right? So here's our present working directory. We knew we were in this present working directory because our prompt tells us where it was. But just in case we have gone in and changed our prompt to something really cool, we can run present working directory. All right. So let's look here, right? Okay. So you can see here we have some files, we have some directories. All right. Let's see what directories we have. One of the things that I like to do is I'm going to run my lsal command, right? And I just want to look at the directories. So I am going to run this command. And you can see here this letter D at the beginning of the row it represents directory. So let's go find something fun to look at. Let's look at the Apache 2 and just see if there's anything in there. I don't think there will be, but let's do that. Okay. So you can see here we have an access log. Okay. We have an error log. And we have another vhost access file. Let's just see if there's anything in the access log. We can use the command cat, as in so. Let's try to look at the error log. Nothing there. Let's look at the last file listed there. Okay, so there's nothing in here. Now you might be looking at the output, excuse me, and asking yourself, well, hey, it says 0 right here, right? 0, 0, 0. That is indeed the length of the file. So we're not gonna see anything there. If I was running Apache 2 web server on here and it was up and running, we'd probably have some entries in there. So let's go to another directory. Hey, let's go to journal and let's list. Okay, let's go back. All right. Didn't have much success there. All right, let's look at the boot log. Okay. Let's look at the um let's look at how big the boot log is. Right? All right. So let's say that we want to look at the most recent file. That's going to be this top file. Now, the size of the file says 14,381. So there's something in there. So let's do cat boot log. All right. Oh, permission denied. Alrighty. So we need to escalate our privileges. So in order to do that, you're going to run the command sudo or sudo. I like to say sudo, but I believe the correct pronunciation is sudo. Either way, I will know what you're talking about. If we're talking face to face, video, Zoom, MS Teams, or what have you. So I'm going to say sudo. You can say sudo. It will be fine. All right. So we're going to run that command again. Sudo, and then we're going to do cat boot.log. Okay. Let's see what we get. Oh, it wants my password. Okay. I entered the password and it gave me a bunch of information. All right. So let's run up, let's do this again, but let's do the more command. Okay. So here it is. Let's scroll up just one line and you can see here's our command. All right. So this gives us the logs for when this VM booted up. All right. Let's do this. Let's find something interesting. Okay. Let's say we want to make sure that NTP started. All right. So instead of using more, let's grep for NTP. We might not know the case of what we're looking for. So we'll use that -I parameter again. Okay. And sure enough, there's 4 entries for NTP. All right. All right. Oftentimes we want to copy and move files around. I'm not going to mess with the bootlog file, but let's go ahead and make a backup copy of this file. Okay. So I'm going to do CP. Okay. So CP equals copy. Okay. So I can run copy boot. Okay. Now, the really cool thing that I love about Linux is that I can hit the tab key and it will try to complete it. If I press it twice, it will give me options, right? So here I want to copy boot.log.6, and then I want to maybe give it a name. Um, Bootlog.6, and then backup. Okay. Oftentimes you'll see BKUP or BUP for backing up. Oh, it wants a sudo again. Okay. So we're going to do copy boot.log.6 to boot.log.6.bup. Okay. And it didn't prompt me for my password because it still has it from the last time I did it. If I were to reboot my machine, it would prompt me again. So let's go and let's look and see that my file was created. And we'll do boot. Okay. And you can see, sure enough, here's my file. Excuse me. There we go. So, just in review, we have covered some basic commands that will get you around in Linux. I would encourage you to practice these commands. When you're in the labs, you can go into these same directories, even though this is Kali and you'll be working in CentOS or Ubuntu. These same commands will work, and these same directories exist with the exception of home Kali. Your directory will be home slash and then whatever you name your host. So thank you for listening and stay tuned for more videos from Jeff.